How do I overcome approvalitis? Today we're going to talk a little bit about what it means when you say yes too much and what you're actually saying no to in terms of the things that you can increase your own quality of life with. What's going on, you guys? I'm Tyler, your wandering therapist. I'm excited to be out here with you today. We're going to be talking about the power of the word no and what it means in terms of the opportunities that it can produce in your life if you learn to say it in the right ways to the right people at the right times. How many of you struggle with approvalitis? You know that thing in your life where you can't say no to anybody for fear that they're going to not like you, or they're going to look down on you, or you're going to feel guilty like you're not doing what you should? How often have you said yes to something when the right answer was likely no, because there were other things in your life that were demanding more of your time and your energy and attention, but you said yes anyway because you were afraid of what other people were going to think about you? I'd ask you to think about this in your own life and apply this axiom. Every time you say no to something, you're saying yes to something else. Right now, switch that axiom around and think about all the things that you're saying yes to. Every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. What are those things in your life right now that you automatically are saying yes to? Is it worrying about what your partner thinks of you to the point that you don't go pursue your own hobbies and interests or dreams? Is it wanting to be able to start reading a good book, but spending your evening every night on the couch watching television? Is it something else in your life, wanting to have a better in-shape body, but deciding to eat gummy bears like I did last night in your bed when you go to bed at night? I'm thinking about a situation in my life that happened a few years ago. My wife came to me and she said to me, "Tyler, I think we ought to give up our television for a month." And I thought, why would we do that? You have to understand that I'm a big sports fan. I spend a lot of time in front of the TV during my downtime. It's a way to decompress myself. And she said, "I just want to see what it's like to go for a month without television." And of course, I said yes to her because I didn't want the conflict. And we went for a month without television, and I'll tell you that the first 2 weeks were absolutely miserable. I remember coming home from work every day and sitting down on the couch and almost in like silent protest staring at a blank TV screen and wasting my time and moping around and wondering what I was going to do with my life as a result of not having my television anymore. But after I got over those first 2 weeks of, call it withdrawal if you will, I started to look around and we started to do some things. I started to take my kids to the park. We'd go for walks every night. We'd listen to music. We'd listen to books. We started to play board games. We played card games with each other at night before we went to bed. We started having friends over and we played board games with them. We started going to the park and playing volleyball with groups of friends. And it got to be a month into this project and my wife came to me and she said, "Tyler, we went a whole month without the television." And in the back of my mind I was thinking, excellent, we're going to bring the television back. And she said, "I think we ought to go another month." And of course I didn't want to fight with her, so I said, "All right, let's go one more month." I can tell you in that second month that the quality of life increased even further. I felt closer to my family, closer to my children. I felt more productive. I was actually learning because I was reading books and listening to podcasts, and I was spending quality time with my wife, and I felt a deeper sense of connection to her in my marriage, to the point that at the end of the second month my wife said, "Let's go for a little bit longer without the television." And by then, it took me 2 months to get used to the idea. I said okay, and that turned into what became 8 years of not having any television in our home. And during that 8 years, both me and my wife found an increased quality of our life. Life became vibrant and colorful. We became more connected to each other. We spent more time with each other. We were engaged in good things, serving other people and building new friends. And all of that came from the single choice to say no to the television. Most of us don't think about what a simple choice that is, to say no to one thing, and what it opens up in terms of the rest of the world to what those opportunities are. Many of us are stuck with habits right now that we don't even realize we're saying yes to, and in doing so we're saying no to so much more. Think about those things that are consuming your time right now. Spending time on YouTube for 2 hours a day. Scrolling your social media for an hour and a half a day. You're saying yes to the numbing part of that, and maybe that's what you want, maybe that's how you cope with life, but in saying yes, understand that you're saying no, potentially, to so many more things. When somebody calls you and wants to demand all of your time, when you had the plans to go do something else, you can say yes, but realize that you're saying no to all of those things that you were saying that you were planning on doing and building yourself with. So think about that every time you do something now. You're saying no to something when you say yes. So be intentional. Start putting your time and energy into the places that matter most. There was an old church talk from a long time ago called Good, Better, Best. We can all spend our time on good things, but sometimes those good things come at the sacrifice of better things, and sometimes the better things come at the sacrifice of the best things. And living with a little bit more awareness and a little bit more intention and an understanding of what we're actually choosing and saying yes to can increase the quality of our life, it can increase our productivity, and it can increase the effectiveness that we can have in our relationships and in our goals for what we're living. So challenge for you guys today, look for one thing that you're automatically saying yes to that might not be the best yes. Ponder what it would be like to let go of that one and what the new things would be to say yes to when you create that space. You guys have an awesome day. Thank you so much for being here with me. If you found this to be valuable for you, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you're facing particular struggles that you need help with or roadblocks that you're running into, please submit a question. I'd be happy to answer it for you.